When I come there this summer and you take me to some of these fancy golf courses, and I'm going to dress brown on brown like Tommy Fleetwood.
You know, you and I are often in sync in a lot of ways. Those are two of my biggest takeaways from watching 8 hours of Masters 2 days in a row. Like, Jason Day's had an issue with his pants forever. And now, like, he's got this sponsor, and the stupid company that supplies his pants, like, splashes their name on the bottom. They're the worst pants in the league, have been for 10 years. Has he not understood that we now taper our pants? We don't have the pleats, and they're not baggy. It's not Arnold Palmer. It's, you know, it's unbelievable that these guys have so many consultants in so many ways and can go out in front of the biggest audience they'll ever have in their world and make asses of themselves with what they're wearing.
Have you ever you've gone to a mall, shopped or whatever, and been like, that looks really good on a mannequin? I started the show with this. And then you buy it and you take it home and you're like, what was I thinking?
Yeah.
Like, this doesn't look good. He's going to go back and look at his highlights tonight. Jason Day and that powder blue and yellow combo thingy and go, what were we thinking?
You know, I recently bought a hoodie that I thought was really cool, good looking. It was like
Ed Hardy?
It was browns. It was brown paisley with some beiges in there. I thought it was really cool, and it was really comfortable, and I actually thought it was really stylish. And I got home, and on my recent trip, my family trip to Cabo, I was wearing it every night. It was my only long sleeve I brought. And my kids and my wife absolutely teed off on me. I guess they think it's the ugliest thing I've ever owned. So what I did was, we got back, and I still disagree with them, but I'm not going to fight it. I'm not going to wear it anymore. If you're married, you know you get one frame jersey in your whole house. One frame. Right? If you're single, you can fill your boots. Hang them from the curtain rods on hangers. Doesn't matter. But
I know what you're going to say.
So I took my hoodie, and I took out I got an Olympic jersey signed by Sid and Iggy, and I put my Paisley, and it's right next to where my son games, and it's right next to my wife's office in the basement. And I went away for 2 weeks on a road trip with the Flames, and I just waited for the text, and sure enough, they saw it, and they were howling.
That is totally something I would do. That is totally something I would do, and I've probably done something similar to that. No, I almost break out into cold sweats when I'm shopping, and it comes to the point where I'm like, I'm going to buy this, and my wife's not around. And I'm like, and then I'm going to FaceTime as the last resort and be like, can I buy this? And she'll be like, no. Like, what are you thinking? I bought a leather jacket once in Boston, and it had like fur, and right away I'm thinking, man, I look like I could have been in Top Gun. Like, this is a nice bomber, jacket. It's brown. My buddy's with me. He's like, yeah, that's not a bad jacket. I brought it home, same thing. She was like, what are you thinking? You can never wear that. Like, you can't wear that.
That's
and I was
amazing.
like, oh, and I remember, I think I tried to give it to somebody like that was cold in the winter and said, hey, do you want this jacket? Because I'm not allowed to wear this. Can't have it in my house. But the framing thing, oh man, that's a good play. Have you been there? Because you got the hat on. Have you been there?
Yeah, I went to 2013. I went. Adam Scott won in a playoff. I went as a patron. And, the one thing I always say about the Masters is it's the only sporting event in the world where their goal is to make sure that you have a great experience. And you think about that. Every other event, and I've been to all the biggest sporting events in the world, they're all aimed for one thing. How can we rake as much money from every patron as possible? And the Masters, this hat I'm wearing, this was $25, I remember. This, I think people would pay $100 online if they could get it. They don't sell any of their stuff online. You go in the pro shop now and you buy stuff and you ship it straight home. You don't even carry it because you buy boatloads of it. Because like Masters golf shirts are $50. It's ridiculous. They're just trying to break even. They make so much. I read about it. They because their TV deal, they get $1 billion a year from CBS. They don't need that. They don't need to make a dime on anything else. They could if they wanted to, but like their ice cream peach sandwiches are the greatest thing you'll ever eat. 75 cents. A beer, $1.50. I heard this year. Someone told me in the last couple of years, because I haven't been for a while, they've raised the beer price. Now it's $6 for an import. Like
Colson has
the deal of the century.
Colson has the picture of the prices this year, because once he pulls it up, I got some questions on it. It's what about, because everyone's heard the stories about when you're driving in, it's like ghetto, it isn't very nice, and like strip malls and all that. All of a sudden you turn and it's like, whoa, I'm on another planet here. What about like around? Are there like when you go to an NFL game, there's the guy set up in a van with the knockoff T-shirts? Is there people like with the knockoff gear?
Yeah, and that guy's name is John Daly. He parks his RV. You know this, right? Yeah. But for those who don't know, he parks his RV every year at the Hooters parking lot, a couple blocks down the road. And you're right, it is not a very. The overwhelming smell as you enter Augusta National is Kentucky Fried Chicken, and then you enter the pearly gates and you're in heaven. It's different, but yeah, John Daly. I got yelled at by his third or fourth wife, whatever it was. She just got out of jail, and she was yelling at me because I was loitering. She said. I just couldn't decide what I wanted to buy from him. But like I have in my office here, like a flag, like the Masters flag, framed. He buys hundreds of them from the Masters, signs them all, and then sells them for twice the price. Like, so it's not a knockoff, but it's just like, it's ridiculous. It's embarrassing is what it is. It's so sad. It's so sad what's going on in that man's life. But anyway.
Here's the food prices that Colson's got. So we got some sort of breakfast sandos are $2. Where's a beer? Yeah. Domestic beer, $6 now. A white wine is $6. That's gone up quite a bit in the last few years.
Yeah.
What would be your go-to? What's your go-to on those on the sandwiches there?
Well, you have the pimento, but it's not good. Like, okay, it's a spread. It's 2 pieces of Wonder Bread and a bit of a spread with mayonnaise and pimentos. Like you have one because it's $1.50 and it's a master tradition, but they're no good. Like they're not tasty or anything like that. But you go there and you get, back when I was there, $1.50 for a drink. You go there and you buy 4 beers, you and your buddies, and 4 meals, and it comes to $19. You're like, oh my God, like this is heaven. And the other thing, though, I always remember about Augusta is the washrooms. You'll never see a washroom on the TV broadcast. Like you're not going to see a porta potty in the background. They don't have that. It's gross. They've got these bunkers and they're camouflaged, but they're the most beautiful bathrooms. And you will never, ever, ever go into a stall. They have like an unbelievable system like I've never seen anywhere in the world. You line up and it moves like very quickly. There's a guy at the door holding you back. And then suddenly a guy yell out, stall 14. And then a guy had just gone in there, sprayed a nice little mist. I don't know what the fragrance is. And then he wipes it down and then you go in. But you'd never go in right after someone else has gotten rid of their pimento and cheese. You know what I mean? It's so sophisticated. It's the most perfect place on earth. When they open the gates in the morning, there's no running. You're not allowed to run. You'll get kicked out immediately. You buy a chair for $50. It's a great keepsake. You put it anywhere you want. No one will touch it all day. It's amazing. It's the greatest place on earth. No question about it.
What day should I go if I can go to one?
Easy question. Wednesday. You have to go Wednesday.
I don't want to go to the par 3.
I don't know. I didn't go to the par 3, so I can't really answer that. But it's not the real course, right? You're not on the real course. You're on the hallowed grounds of Augusta National, but you're not walking the 18 holes you've been watching on TV forever. Wednesday's the only day you can bring your phone/camera in there. And so I think Wednesday's the best day to go because are you there to see the players? Not a chance. You're there to walk on the most sacred ground in sporting history. You're there to traverse this course, this setting, this idyllic golf course that everyone's dreamt of and no one will ever play. So you want photos of that. So to me, it's Wednesday. I think the worst day to go is Sunday because you can't see anything. Like I always tell people, that year was the year Angel Cabrera and Adam Scott both stuffed it on 18 to within like 2 feet. Both got birdies on 18 to send it into a playoff. I never saw either of those shots into 18, nor did I see any of the playoff because everybody congregates to the playoff holes and you can't get anywhere near seeing anything. So you want to see the drama unfold. Golf is the worst sport in the world to watch live. I'll always say that. It's so much better on TV. The drama unfolds and the way they paint the picture and you see how it's all happening. Golf is live is junk. The only major you should ever go see is the Masters.
What about, I can't bring my phone if I go practice round Tuesday?
Oh, practice round Tuesday as well. Yeah, sorry. I didn't get into town until Tuesday night. So yeah,
so that
any
might
of the practice rounds you can bring.
Yeah, maybe that's because I want to walk the real course as much of it as I can. I want to be able to snap some pictures so I can prove to my kids or humans that I was there. And then I don't really care about watching the competition, to be honest with you. I went to the 2009 PGA Championship. I told the story yesterday. And when Y.E. Yang sinks the putt against Tiger, we're all at the top of the grandstand, and I got a disposable camera because I got the guys to go put it in a plastic bag in the woods, and we ran and got it Sunday, brought it up, and then I had the camera and I took pictures. Yeah, they put it in a Ziploc bag and a hollowed out log. And then they went and got it on Sunday, and then we sat up there and we gambled, and people, by the Sunday, people were like, hey, the gambling guys are back. Let's get in on it. How much? Da, da, da. And I was like, this was fun. But yeah, I don't the competition is like, you got to run around and you got to fight crowds. And that's why I was like bunking in on the Hazeltine was good because you had 18 and 9 were parallel and you had the grandstand. And then if you're at the right top of 18, you could watch 10, the back of 10. So you got 3 holes. That's as good as you're going to get in a major, watching 3 holes.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And I found a couple perches like that at Augusta. You sit there all day, like, when you find a really good perch, you just stay there all day. You sit on the grass. It's amazing. Life's good. But don't forget also at Augusta, unlike a lot of other tournaments I've gone to where they've got electronic scoreboards everywhere, they have no electronic scoreboards at Augusta. It's all those manual ones. And there's something beautiful about that. But they're not on every hole. They're not from every vantage point. And because you don't have your phone with you, you literally could not have a clue for hours who's leading until they start coming through with the signs that the kid's carrying for each group. So that's why golf, people don't understand, golf is so great on TV. It's made for TV. You can't see the contours of the green and the elevations at Augusta. They're doing a better job.
But now you can, Eric. Like I said, I don't know if we talked about I talked about this on Wednesday, but I've been talking about it. It's like we used to watch it back in 13, back in when Tiger's days. And it's like, well, that's not a tough putt. That's not a tough chip because we didn't get the angles in the high def. Now it's like, whoa, what is that? Someone parked a bus in the middle of the green and they put green over top of it and you got to go up and down and around. And then there's no flat lies. Like what TV does it such justice now?
Yeah, I agree. I don't think any TV broadcast will ever make it clear how hard it is for these guys to negotiate these greens and fairways, and but they're doing a better job for sure. And I don't know. I don't have a bucket list in life, but if I did, Masters would have been on number 1 and probably right through 1 till 5 because it's that good. And I went 4 days that week. It was incredible. 3 days. Sorry.
Playing
practice
it.
Round.
Playing.
Okay, so I throw this at people all the time. What's your number? You get a phone call tomorrow, and a guy goes, you won't believe this. Long story, bud. I got us a tee time at Augusta National on Friday. What would you pay? Because my number is $20,000. I would pay that in a heartbeat, and I'd probably go way higher. Because you don't get the opportunity.
I don't know if my wife's listening, but one of my no, seriously, one of my one of my really good friends from Boston, took me to the 2013 World Series. Used to have a bar on Boylston right behind Fenway. We played hockey together. Like, this guy's legit. Like, when he says, hey, come in for the series, I got us tickets. And we went in, and we had club seats in Fenway for the World Series. Like, this, and I'm like, how do I repay you? He's like, Shink, I don't want to come to Saskatchewan. He's like, just pay it forward. And I'm like, ah. So then he went and set up Bar Tacos in Georgia. So he was living in Atlanta. Then he started playing hockey with a guy that's a member at Augusta. And I go, Kate, I said, Donnie, I said, I don't know how I can explain this to you, but this guy, let him know you have a Canadian that will do anything to come and play that golf course. And he's like, okay, I'll see him tomorrow and I'll plant the seed. And I'm just like, oh my. So then I called my wife, but my kids were like 1 and 3. And I'm like, this is, just so you know, there'll be a note. I'll send you a text, and then there'll be a note. I'm gone. And that doesn't mean I'm gone. It's just the only thing that I would drop everything and go and do. I don't care how I got to get there. I don't care. Do I got to drive to Minot and then puddle jump from there? Do I got to drive to Minneapolis and then go from there? I don't care. I don't know, price tag wise at this part of my life, I don't know. But I would do whatever. I didn't say that, but pretty darn close.
Well, for sure.
Would you give up your pinky? Would you give up your pinky to play it?
I don't know if I want to start throwing around body parts, but I'd way rather just give a guy $20,000 or $30,000. So if I got an option between the two, I'm keeping my finger.
Nub guy.
Those come in handy.
How do you tie my skates? How do I'd let you pick which one. Pinky? No.
Oh.
I left my uncles that used to be farmers. They'd come and they'd be like, when you're a kid, it would just like be traumatizing. It's like, what happened to Uncle Jim's fingers? They're gone. They're like little nubs. Okay. One hole.
I want to just tell this quick story.
Okay, you go and then I'll ask you that.
So I don't know what year it was. Well, I know exactly what year it was, 21 years ago, because I'll tell you why I know that in a second. Stephen Ames wins the tournament a week before the Masters to get into the Masters for the very first time. Stephen Ames was a Calgary resident, and it's kind of a big deal in this city. I was working for the local newspaper. I was our columnist. I got a call on a Sunday night from my editor saying, "You're going to Augusta," and because he knew I'd covered all the other majors, but not Augusta. And he goes, "You're going to Augusta. I got you credited. You're going to cover Stephen Ames." There's a long pause on the phone. I said, "I'm getting married next weekend. I'm going to have to call you back. I'm going to make some big decisions here that will impact the rest of my life." And I did give it a day, but I just could not figure out a way that, I got married instead. And yesterday was my 21st anniversary, so that's why I remember the story. But here's the real kick in the teeth on top of it. Not only did I went to go years later as a patron, which is better than covering it, but they sent a young man in my stead. He was new in the business. He had no business being at Augusta National. They sent him, and guess what happened when he was there? He won the media draw and got to play Augusta National. 12 guys in the world get that opportunity every year. His number came up. So I try not to think about the fact that might have been my spot, and then I lost out on a chance to play Augusta National.
Your wedding was at Lake Louise, wasn't it?
Yeah.
How many people would you have disappointed besides your wife?
80 people. And you know, it's funny when you look back, that's 21 years ago. About half of them I'm not really that close with anymore. So I really would have only disappointed 30 or 40 people in my life. Yeah.
What is, is she compassionate about it?
I told this story once before, and it's funny. I think she's in the other room and can hear me right now, so I'm probably in big trouble. I told this story. Oh, she's laughing. Oh,
there goes your weekend. There goes your weekend.
Anyway, I gotta go. We'll see you, Barney. I told the story once. Oh my God. I told the story once before at a party, and she heard me tell it, and she kind of pulled me aside on the way home and said, you'd be wise to never tell that story ever again, especially the way you told it. So I tried not to, but I just did, and now she heard me, and so I'll be lucky to get to 22 years.
Oh man. Okay, we got like 4 minutes of hockey here. Since you're NHL insider Eric Francis for Sports Select. What seriously, man? This is why I don't like the current playoff setup. What happened Dallas and Minnesota yesterday, they're going to end up playing each other in the playoffs. Yeah, that's great. I don't know if it's going to be like what we saw last night though.
Look, I think there's already a built-in hatred between those two guys. Those two teams have known for half a year that they're going to play each other in the first round of the playoffs. So I do think that
Oh, he's got a phone call coming in. It's his wife. This is when his camera cuts out. It's when he's got a call coming in. I can hear you from the other room. Are you telling that story? We got to wait for him to come back. Our NHL insider Eric Francis for Sports Select. You can play it online now. Generate a QR code, go to your Lotto Spot retailer, scan away.
Hello?
Was it your wife calling, saying, you're not telling that story, are you?
No, I heard a door slam, so none of this is good, what's happening right now.
Minnesota, Dallas.
Oh, yeah, Minnesota, Dallas. Yeah, those guys hate each other, speaking of which. So I do think that the dislike for one another is real, and I think it's going to be a hell of a series. I was looking at it today, kind of breaking it down in my mind, and the two talented teams, and the only reason why I think Minnesota would have a chance is because Quinn Hughes is there now, like, can control a game, as we saw at the Olympics. But I just look at down the middle for Minnesota. Like, their number one center is Ryan Hartman. Then they got Eriksson Ek. Like, it's not strong down the middle, and that's where a lot of people think playoffs are won and lost, other than goaltending. And, Colorado's got the best centers in the league by far, to the point where they added Kadri and Nicholas Waugh at the deadline, which is like the most ridiculous overkill you've seen in a long time. So I can't see anyone beating Colorado in the West. I really can't.
And then what's the story on the rookie from Calgary?
Oh, yeah, like those who braved the Flames game last night, it was 2-0. Dustin Wolf had 41 shots on goal with 3 minutes left, kept them in the game. They're down 2-0. Tyson Gross, a month ago, signed with the Flames. He's kind of like the hottest free agent college signing. He's a Calgary kid, grew up in this city, dreamt of being a Flame his whole life. Third NHL game. With 3 minutes to go, they put him out for a crucial faceoff with the goalie pulled. He wins the faceoff. It's kind of his specialty. Wins the faceoff and ends up scoring his first NHL goal to make it a one-goal game. A minute later, he scores again. It's tied 2-2. However, coach's challenge. The poor kid was offside by a foot going into the zone. Second goal doesn't count. 30 seconds. It was like one of the great stories of this for the Calgary young kid. Finally gets 2 goals. And it would have hijacked the President's Trophy, title for Colorado. However, they ended up winning it, as one would expect, and he was still pretty thrilled to get his first goal. But what an incredible series for about a minute there! It was wild to watch.
Did you watch? Rory just chipped in. I don't have Rory. I got Patrick Reed. Remember, you wanted to give my money back. I got Reed and Justin Rose. Those are 2 nice ponies. Hey, what did you watch? You didn't watch that Frozen Four semifinal then last night, Michigan and Denver?
No, I heard it was quite a game.
Oh, yeah.
I heard Cole Reshney was dominant out there.
That was the game before. I didn't watch that one. But
the other
Denver,
one. Okay,
Denver's goalie, like 52 saves or whatever. He was unreal, yeah. And then this the kid by the name of Kent Anderson, second goal of the season, is the double overtime winner.
Here's a funny story. Ken Anderson's father is my tennis partner. I play tennis, and don't say this out loud, pickleball. I play with Ron Anderson. That's his son. He was there. He sent me that exact clip last night because I wasn't paying attention to the game. I'm so thrilled for the kid. He's going to the final.
Yeah.
And he scored a few before that, but apparently not. That was amazing. And I know lost him. That's so funny.
That's good. Your internet's kind of breaking up too. I think your wife is out back snipping the cord. You got some explaining to do. And then, so are you here next week and you would leave the week after?
Yeah.
Next week we're good?
So if I'm still alive, we'll talk next Wednesday.
Hey, don't root for Patrick Reed then, but root for Justin Rose for me.
Well, he's a good guy. He's easy to root for. I'll root for him. I'm with you.
Okay. Talk to you Wednesday, maybe. Finished. Tell your wife I said hi.
All right. Yeah, maybe. Wish me luck, brother. God, why did I tell that story? Damn it.
NHL and other things. Off the Rails Friday with Eric Francis. That's what it is.